Hey there, everyone. It's Brendan here, and welcome back to another crypto market update. And man, there's a lot going on in the great world of crypto this week. We literally just had Bitcoin break out to new all-time highs, which put its price above $70,000. But it's not the only one that is benefiting from this run. We have altcoin projects popping off left and right. And I actually want to talk about a few of the verticals that are really seeing a lot of attention here. And then there's a bunch of other stuff happening in the news as well. So if you want to stay up to date with everything that is happening in the great crypto markets, make sure you smack that like button, smack that subscribe button. And if you really like the content that we make, check out the links in the description down below where you can join our communities like Altcoin Alert and Crypt Nation. So I want to kick things off with the price of Bitcoin first, because a lot of you heard me say that Bitcoin hit a new all-time high, which put it above $70,000. And you're looking at the chart right now saying, hey, the price says that it's at $68,800. What's the deal with this $70,000 Bitcoin that you were just talking about? And so if we look at this hourly chart that we have in front of us, we can actually see that just a few hours ago, we had a candle wick, which means that prices went all the way up to around $70,180 on the Coinbase exchange. Now, this marks a new all-time high because just the other day we put in an all-time high of around 69,300. Before that, it was right around 69,200, depending on the exchange that you were looking at. And so with us breaking above $70,000 here, this actually makes the highest price that we've ever seen on Bitcoin, which means that when Bitcoin hit this price, if you would have bought Bitcoin at any point in history, well, then you would have been profitable here, at least if you bought on Coinbase. Again, it can vary a little bit depending on the exchange that you're looking at over here. But price came up here to a new all-time high and started selling off again. And this isn't the first time that we've seen this. We saw this happen a few days ago on March 24th. We saw it happen again just a few hours later after it saw the initial rejection, came down, gained some steam, came back up, rejected it again. And now we're coming up here and seeing another rejection. The difference here is that instead of seeing a $10,000 sell-off like we did last time, if we switch over to the daily time scale, this one's already being bought up and it didn't make it very far. In fact, it only made it about halfway down. So last time we rejected about $10,000. This time around we rejected about $4,000 to $5,000, and the bulk of it is already being, bought back up over here. So there's a lot of articles that are floating around like, hey, is crypto back? Why is everything surging? And so I'm sure you're probably going to start to see these things floating around. And I'm even noticing it, not just like in the news, but also when I'm out roaming the streets. I was driving around getting my coffee this morning, and on my way back, I was passing a little like gas station, convenience store style building. And they had a picket sign out front that they like stabbed into the dirt or the grass saying like, hey, the Bitcoin ATMs are in here. I almost said ETF. Come on in. And like, that was like a big incentive that they had. And I just thought it was funny that we're starting to reach this point in the market again where, you're going to start seeing a lot more about Bitcoin. In the heat of the bear market, I don't think that these people would have had a picket station or like a picket sign out in front of their gas station saying, hey, there's Bitcoin here. But as it blows up and people want to get their hands on it, it could be a little bit more of a reality. So this is kind of just the article that's referencing that $70,000 price point that we were talking about just a second ago to show that it did actually hit it beyond just the charts that we were looking at. Now, I'm not super familiar with Athena, but I did want to reference this article because what it tells me is that, and actually it's a trend that I've been seeing on the back end, is that when it says Athena becomes the highest earning dApp in crypto, the main takeaway that I wanted to make here is not anything to do with Athena, but rather than, a lot of these different decentralized applications, a lot of these crypto projects, most people don't know that they are generating profit and revenue and money. And so when we talk about being the highest earning dApp and we look at profits and stuff, you can actually go over to like Token Terminal or DeFi Llama or a lot of these sites and look at which projects are generating revenue and how much they're doing. And I wanted to, kind of make that known for all the newcomers to the crypto markets, because a lot of people think that it's just Ponzi-nomics, when in reality, the vast majority of crypto projects nowadays are profit generating, projects or companies. And that's a really important thing to understand, is that most of them are either working towards that or they already have these profit generating models. You have things like MakerDAO, you have things apparently like Athena that are doing this as well. But like MakerDAO, for example, generated over $100 million in profit last year. And that's a really big point. So I think we're going to start to see increasingly more projects, hop on this train, be more profitable than, basically more profitable than they've seen in a really long time. So this is a trend to definitely watch out for. And if you're not looking at profitability, maybe this is kind of your sign to say, hey, go look at, which projects are actually profitable and bringing in some cash of the ones that have working products. And it could be something to consider. Now, kind of along similar lines over here, I've seen a lot of different verticals inside the crypto markets popping off, right? You have AI, very clear. DePIN starting to do pretty well. You have the Ethereum DeFi space just popping off. Things like Uniswap, Compound went on a crazy run here recently. Even layer 2s like Matic and Optimism have been doing well. But another one was meme coins. Now, I'm not a particularly giant fan of the meme coin space, but it is another one that is just doing good. So I came across this article and it had me thinking that if we go and we actually look at some of these meme coin charts, whatever they may be, again, I honestly don't like to invest in these things. I think they're a little bit too risky. I don't like their value propositions. However, I have seen them popping off, and I just wanted to cover it as we are going through the news, because I'm sure some of you are probably holders of Dogecoin or Pepe or whatever it may be, and maybe you haven't checked your bags in 1, 2, 3, 4 years now, and this is the first that you're hearing about it. Well, it could be time to go revisit those bags and see what they're worth now, because a lot of them have been popping off. Now, what else is happening? Well, I saw this article, and you literally can't make this stuff up. Bitcoin rises from the dead, and could it keep going? So there's been a lot of articles saying that like Bitcoin's dead, crypto's dead, and we've covered this on the channel before, but there's this place called Bitcoin obituaries that show all of the times that Bitcoin has been proclaimed dead, and it's been 476 recorded times, and every pin on this chart is a news article saying that Bitcoin is dead and that it has failed. Now, the most recent ones over here, if we go to the past like 3 months, there was one published on, this was just a few weeks ago, on February 22nd, saying that Bitcoin has failed. The price that they said Bitcoin failed at was $51,000. And, about a week or two later, Bitcoin went from $50,000 up to $70,000. So, needless to say, I wouldn't say a $20,000 rise is failing. Well, there's another article published on December 27th saying BlackRock will completely destroy Bitcoin. As we're looking at this, this was published when Bitcoin was around 42K. BlackRock is actually now the largest ETF buyer of Bitcoin. So I don't think that they've destroyed it at all. In fact, from my perspective, maybe I'm a little biased, it seems like they have done the opposite of destroy Bitcoin. They're actually helping it out a lot, and they're seemingly very interested, and so are their clients. So whenever you see these articles, whether it's this one or other ones saying, hey, Bitcoin's dead, just remember that there's actually calculators and stuff like this out there that are saying you're not alone. Like, you've probably seen a lot of these articles, and other people have, hence why they created things like the Bitcoin obituary to record all the times that people have been wrong saying that Bitcoin has died. So the markets overall are looking great. We're consolidating at the highs. And, I, for one, am really excited about a lot of this. Altcoins are popping off. Bitcoin's popping off. Everything here seems to be doing pretty well across the board. And I hope all of you are enjoying this time as well. Now, if you enjoyed the video here, all that we ask is that you hit the like button and the subscribe button, because we got a lot more cool content coming your way in the future. But until we see all of you next time, stay tuned and happy trading.